there, how you doing? So this is something that I'm trying that's a little new and I'm calling it back to basics. And the first thing we're gonna do is what we're doing today is the easy eye. What steps you're gonna do to get an easy eye makeup. If you're just starting out or you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and you're like, what is happening? We're gonna work all that out, and it's gonna be done in just a few easy steps. You're gonna, number one, prime. Number two, base eyeshadow. Number three, add a little color on there. And then number four, we're going to eyeline. And then number five, we're gonna mascara. And that's it. So let's do it. So the first key, and this is something that I always do because I'm oily all over. But if you're super dry, you could probably skip this step, is using a primer. And I like the Urban Decay Primer Potion is my favorite. And you just need a little tiny dab. And I'll show you how much to me a little tiny dab is. About this much, so not a lot. And then just rub it on the fingers. And I kind of do double duty to save time. And just kind of dot it on your eye. And rub it in. And you don't want to use too much because it's kind of a creamy texture, so you can definitely overdo it. And then I kind of bring it down underneath my eye too, and once again, if you're dry, you probably don't want to do this. But so like you won't get that kind of bleed out of your eyeliner. You know how it gets kind of goopy. I still get that because I'm oily, but it kind of prevents that a little bit. So that is step one, is do a primer, optional. So the next step is we're going to take a neutral color, and this is vanilla. As you can see, I use this every day, so you can't see anything on it, but I just know by heart it's vanilla from MAC, and or any neutral color. Anything that's not like dark or shimmery, you want it to be kind of a matte color. So that's what we'll use for this, and I'll show you even some other options. Something like this, something that's kind of like matches your skin tone. You want it to be kind of like this is your skin. So I'm just going to put it on kind of a bigger brush, and even if you only have one brush for this, it's okay because this is beginner, so it's fine. So what we're going to do is just kind of dot it on, and we're going to just start from, you know, like where the top of your actual eyeball is up to your eyebrow. That's where we're going to put this, okay? So just kind of dot it on, and we're going to put it right on top of that primer, and then just swoop it out. Okay, so that's part one, done. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to use a different brush for this, but like I said, if you only have one brush, you can do this. Even if you only have the little spongy things that come in your eyeshadow, you can do all of these, it's fine. Don't stress out about it. The next thing you want to do is get a kind of beigey neutral color, not something that's too dark, not something that's too light. I'm going to use, let's say, this guy right here. It's just kind of a basic color. And this is kind of a lot of light in the back, so you can't really see. But it's kind of like a taupey color, and I'm going to tap the excess off, and then start tapping it on your eyelid, and going back and forth, back and forth. And you can do this, I can do this without even looking, because all you're doing is just following the shape of your eyeball. And you're just taking that light color and just following the shape of the eye. And then kind of pull it out to the corner just a little bit, okay? So, and now we're gonna do that on the other side. Okay, so that's the basic. So say you just want like an everyday easy, you could stop there with your eyeshadow and then move on to eyeliner. Like, that's totally cool. You don't have to move on from there. But let's say you wanna do something a little bit more to the face. So now I'm gonna take a smaller brush, and once again, you can use your same brush, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to go with a darker color. This is more of like a chocolatey, and I'm just going to tap right on the top, okay? Once again, knocking off the excess. And this time I'm just going to put this right in the crease. So this is going to add a little depth and dimension to the eye. So this is we're getting into like moderate stuff here. It's not the super easiest, it's not super hard. And literally, like I said, I can do this without even looking because all you're doing is you're feeling that brow bone and you're going back and forth and shading like a windshield wiper. Okay? So that added a little bit more depth, if you can see it. So that's it. And you can do these, that's the basics to eyeshadow. And you can go, like, say you're doing a nighttime look, you could always use darker colors to do this. This is just basics. So that's easy. You have you've used 3 colors. You've used the color up here from the top of your eyeball to your eyebrow. You've used the kind of lightish color for all over from like your crease down, and then you've used the darker color just right in your crease. So that's it for the basics of eyeshadow. You're done. And now for something just to add a little bit more pizzazz. Once again, this is optional. You don't have to do this part. This is something that just adds a little bit more. I am going to get something that has a little bit of gold to it and put it just right underneath the eyebrow. And it just adds a highlight. And like I said, optional. Don't have to do that. It's up to you. It's your life. Do what you want. So now let's move on to actual eyeliner. Take a basic eyeliner. You can use black, you can use gray, you can use brown. I always use black because I'm a little bit darker hair and eyes, so that works for me. If you're very fair and you want to use a brown, that's really cool, whatever. Whatever you want to do. Whatever works for you. But look for something, if you're just starting out, that has one of these little doodads on the end to help you blend. And if you can't find one that has this, or you already have one and you really like it, you can use a Q-tip, or you can use your finger. So it's not the end of the world. But the basics of eyeliner are, you probably think that you're going to hold it like this and draw like this. But it's much easier if you hold it this way. And you can just draw it on like this. And I'm going to pick up a mirror for this so I can actually see what I'm doing. But what you're going to do is you're going to just dot it like you're doing a dotted line. Dot it on your lash line. So if you're like, I don't have a steady enough hand where I can draw a straight line, that's okay. Don't worry about it, girl. Just dot it on. And if you really are having a hard time, pull the eye and do it that way. And go back and forth. Okay? No big deal. And if you mess up, your best friend in the world, and this goes for eyeshadow, eyeliner, any of this stuff, is a clean, plain makeup sponge. It acts like an eraser. It's just like an eraser. So, best friend. Okay, so now we have our eyes lined. And so that's basic. So now we're going to move on to something a little bit more advanced. If you want to get rid of that gap kind of underneath your eye, it's called the waterline, or this is also called tight lining. You can hold up the eyelid and draw on right underneath your eyelashes. But it kind of gives a continuity to your eyes. So when you have on black mascara, it doesn't look like there's gaps and there's like sparse places in between your eyelashes. And you can also do it on the bottom if you want. But since this is just basic, we're just going to do the top. Or if you want to do just a little bit of eyeliner on the bottom, then just kind of go about halfway in, right underneath your lashes. And then take your finger or the little smudgy and smudge it just a bit. Those are the very basics on eyeliner. So now we're going to move on to mascara, which is your final step in your easy, simple eye. And this is something to not be afraid of. Do not fear the curler. It is your BFF, okay? Because this is going to open up your eyes. It's going to make your eyes look more open and bigger and like a little doll. So just throw that B on there, crimp it down. It's not scary. Hold it for a few seconds. Move on to the other eye. The trick for applying mascara is putting it at the base of your lashes and wiggling. You want to wiggle your way up because you want to get every little lash you have on your eye. So make sure you just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, what? That's from a song, isn't it? And after you have one coat of mascara on, wait a few seconds, and then apply another. That's it. You're done. Come on, you're like half an expert already. So that is it for the back to basics on an easy eye makeup that you can wear every day. And now you can build on that. So aren't you great? Woo, ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I hate myself. I'll see you guys later.